Hi, I'm Kat, marketer turned brand storyteller,
And I'm Candice, educator turned entrepreneur.
and you're listening to
Not nice, clever.
We're two introverts who speak on stages around the country and work with top personal brands who also unapologetically require 24 to 48 hours of recovery time on the couch in our favorite sweats. All Netflix and no chill.
And to be clear, we're not quiet or nice. Together, we're redefining what it means to be an introvert who means business. It's time to show up and show off. Are you in? In today's mini episode, we're talking about quiet marketing, strategies for reaching your audience without overwhelm. So if you're an introvert like us and you're getting started marketing yourself and your business, we came up with a list of really actionable things that you can do today to help yourself put yourself out there. Some of them are actually connecting with clients, and some of them are kind of behind the scenes work that you can do to build your muscle. So here we go. The first one is using your Instagram stories. And this will likely be a hill that I die on because Instagram stories are so vital to your business. They really allow your audience in on who you are, how you spend your time, what your expertise and experience is. But most people tell me, Candice, but I don't know what to talk about in my Instagram stories. So I say first step is treat your Instagram stories like FaceTiming with a friend. What would you tell your friend about your day, what happened, where you're going, what coffee you got? The small little pieces of your day help your audience to feel like they're actually your friend because you're letting them in.
Yeah, I love that one. And I will be right there with you on that hill, dying on how great stories are. There is such success in connecting there and making yourself seem super, super relatable, which will then lower those digital barriers for people to want to reach out to you and actually have a conversation, which is the whole damn point anyway. Another example of how to quote unquote quiet marketing, you guys know Candice and I are not quiet, but this is a low lift, low overwhelm way, is just capturing 10 to 15 seconds of you doing an activity that you would already do anyway, and using that as background video for your TikToks, your reels, your shorts. And you can let the text on screen and the captions do the talking for you. So I did this recently. I went through the process of just using my rice cooker in my kitchen. I finally got my apartment unpacked after a month. And so I was able to set up my iPhone captured video of me just getting the rice cooker out, plugging it in, measuring out the rice, adding water, and then hitting start on it. And I use that as a background to showcase how you can incorporate your background and your culture into your personal brand. And I didn't make eye contact. I didn't have to talk to anybody. It was just 10 to 12 seconds set to some nice background music, and the explainers were in the caption. So if talking head videos or hearing your voice on reels makes you cringe, this might be a great way to leverage. I know it would have been easier if we had started out this way, right, Candice? Like B-roll was not a thing in Instagram 2015.
I know, and I want people to use that because it's a great tool to leverage.
Mm-hmm.
And I use B-roll footage often and I use trends often, but I don't want it to replace your voice.
Yeah,
I want it to be another tool in your toolkit to help you.
agreed.
So I love that. Next one is lean into email marketing. For some reason, ever since TikTok and Reels took off, people forgot about email marketing,
Right.
and we know it's so crucial. I recently had a campaign for the launch of the Content Lab, which is where I help real estate agents learn how to leverage content. In that, I got at least 3 people who I hadn't spoken to in months, perhaps years, just purchase because of the emails.
Mm-hmm. It's something that is not quite as like shiny and new as all those platforms, like you were saying, but also it's the one that has had the most staying power. Email's been around since the late 1990s, when I wasn't even old enough to have a Hotmail and AIM account yet. And it is still definitely useful. And actually, according to Constant Contact, if you're a longtime member of our Clever Crew, you know we've shared this statistic, but compared to the typical ROI of paid advertising, which is put $1 in, get $3 out, email has an ROI of 42 to 1. So $1 in, or that equivalent of your time, $42 back. I don't know about you, but I don't have to have an actual conversation with somebody. I can just leverage chat GPT and brainstorm
Yep.
and write to my heart's content. I like that very much. Super, super powerful.
I like that a lot too. I also think it's powerful just to stay top of mind. I always tell the story about a lender named Jerry who I hadn't spoken to for
Jerry.
years, but he was so consistent with his emails that like if I ever needed a lender, like I would remember Jerry just because I don't even open his emails, but I would just see his name over and over
Mhm.
again on a consistent cadence. And so I would always think of lending and Jerry because there's his email again. So you can keep that in mind if you're looking at your open rate and you're like, it's not as high as I want it to be. I was never opening Jerry's emails,
Mhm.
but I knew he existed and I knew what he did.
Yep. This is going to be a slight tangent, but what's really important, I think, when you do garner business is to ask that question of like, hey, how'd you hear about me? But also, what convinced you to finally like work with me or refer business to me? So, like Candice, in the case of Jerry, it's like, yeah, Jerry, I first met you at an event years ago and I somehow got on your email list. What
Mhm.
convinced you to like refer Jerry business on repeat? Because you kept on seeing his emails in your inbox. So, definitely put on Candace's investigative hat when it comes to that and trust us when we say you should not sleep on email.
Do not. Okay, the next one is more for you. So it's not something that's necessarily going to translate to business right away, but something you can do if you're that person who's still struggling with how your voice sounds on video and how you look. You can create quick 30-second videos to your current clients, current customers, and you can tell them thank you. You can give them an update on the process, their transaction, whatever it is that you're doing. Send it to them via DM if you guys normally communicate like that,
Ah.
because what that's going to do is the algorithm, it's going to make that connection that you send them videos and that you should probably prioritize that person at the top of each other's lists. So that's a great place, or you could text it. But basically, the point of doing this is for you to get used to seeing your face on screen, listening to your voice in a video, and it's a low stakes because you're not sharing it with the entire world. You're just sharing it with one person. And
Mhm.
if you do this enough, I think you'll see that it's not so hard to then do something similar and actually post it.
Agreed. Building up that muscle, so to speak. And okay, so our next and final tip here for how to connect with your audience without inviting an overwhelm. We see this a lot where clients will look at where Candace and I are in their journeys or where their role models are in their journeys and say, well, there's no way that I can leverage digital for business because I don't have a massive audience or I don't have all the following or I don't have all the email subscribers. And while that's a myth and not true, and we bust it regularly, here's a helpful reframe. I always recommend going back to and knowing who are the top 25 to 50 people who know you, like you, trust you really well. They might be family members, they might be friends, but they'll refer you business. They might be former clients, current clients, people in adjacent industries where you guys can support one another. And I like to think of this as like your VIP list, right? And to know that you can always go back to those folks, ask how you can help them, how they can help you. Refer to our prior episode where we talked about like tips and tools to ask for business from your network. But I think just going back to that and to know that you can build a business around being really good to a core select group of people. You don't need the public perceived glamour of, thousands of followers. You can definitely get there. We're not saying we don't want that for you. We just want it to be good for your bottom line too and to feel good.
Yep. And a good cadence for you if you're just starting out is literally writing out your top 25 VIPs and committing to communicating with them quarterly at minimum, but probably monthly.
Monthly. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, communicating with them could be something as simple as, "Oh my gosh, I just saw your video about XYZ. It was amazing." Or, "I just saw that you did XYZ. That was so cool. Congratulations." And if you can do it publicly, even
Mhm.
better.
And once a year, you'll have an opportunity to wish them a happy birthday or a happy anniversary if you know their anniversary date. I recommend if these folks are on your top 25 list, take the time to write out something more than just happy birthday. acknowledge what they've done in the past year, share what, you hope for them in the new year, but just always go back to that top 25 list. You don't have to have a massive list. You just need to have a potent list.
Are you talking about like a Khloe Kardashian style birthday wish publicly on
I
Instagram?
mean, if that is your vibe, Chloe, yeah.
She's known
Is
to write
she?
the most amazing birthday
I
wishes.
did
Yeah.
not know that. I just immediately, when you said Kardashian, I thought of like the Kourtney Kardashians, like public displays of affection with Travis Barker that seem to trigger so many people. And I'm just like,
So
let
many
them
people.
just be them,
Let
y'all.
them live.
Seriously. We saw like Scott shit on her for years and Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like, just let her live her life.
Okay, getting back to,
Yeah, we tangent.
yes, wrapping up our episode. I do have a book in mind, a book
Oh.
recommendation that I love, related to these like 25 VIPs. If you want to learn more about how to really leverage your community, you have to check out Superfans.
Mm.
The cover is red. Can't remember the author's name.
Also, yes, that's just a mini lesson in branding and visuals and the power of color, because Candice remembers the color of the cover and the name of the book, but not the author. So you're welcome. Check out Superfans. We hope you have enjoyed this mini episode, and we will catch you on the next.
Thanks for joining us on Not Nice, Clever.
Remember to follow our podcast wherever you listen to audio.
And if you found today's episode valuable, please share it with your friends.
No gatekeeping here. Remember, we love to see our clever crew grow.
Signing off, you're not so nice, but oh so clever besties that mean business.
See you soon.